Hello, can you hear me? If anyone's even here. Anyway, I'm just gonna be showing you how to copy this stuff into here. Because, you might be clueless and you might not know how to use a DAW. This is FL Studio, yeah? So, and this is piano music, right? I got this from imslp.org. It's just piano music. You can tell it's piano music because it's got a treble clef and it's got a bass clef and it's got this bracket here. Turns it into a grand staff. And you can see that it's got a key signature, right? It's a B flat major. So that means that if I'm going to put notes in here, I gotta have a piano instrument, right? These are not pianos. Not pianos at all. So, the way you add an instrument, this is where your instruments go. It's called the channel rack, by the way. You can get it by clicking this button here. Or go to view, channel rack. Alright. So now, this is how you add an instrument. You can press the plus button. Here's FL keys. That is the default piano instrument. You don't hear anything because it is not routed to the right channel. So you can change the mixer channel right here. I'm gonna click right here. This is where my master output is. I should probably put a limiter on it so that they don't blow out your ears. Alright. Clicking notes. You hear piano, right? Okay. So anyway, I want to get this into here, yes? I can play the notes. This is an F, right? F, D, B flat, A, C, B flat, F. That's this to here, right? But then I press play, nothing happens. Didn't I just play the music? What the heck? Well, it's because I didn't record. It's because I didn't use the piano roll either. I'm not going to use this record button right now, okay? I'm not going to do this. I am absolutely not going to click notes and automation and record right now like this, because that does not put notes in here, you know? If you want to record notes, you either need a MIDI device, like an actual keyboard connected to your computer, like this. But I'm absolutely not going to be teaching you right now how to do that. What we're going to do is right click here, open the piano roll, open the piano roll again because it disappeared. Alright, so now this is where your notes go, okay? You can see it's a grid. If you scroll down, these are low notes. You scroll up, these are high notes. You can see they got names, right? Okay. Anyway, this is sheet music. This is telling you put the note F onto here. It's telling you where in time to put the note also. Here's the problem. The time signature is 2-4. Here we got 4-4. Do you know how I know that? Because if I look at these numbers up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see that it's divided into vertical segments. Like here's beat 1, here's beat 2, here's beat 3, here's beat 4. Then we go on to the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Well, this is in 2-4, so we need to have 2 beats before we go on to the next measure. Right now we have 4 beats. So you change that by going to options, project info. Nah, here we go. Project. Then you go to the numerator, change that to a 2. So now we got 2 vertical columns before moving on to the next measure, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, right. Anyway, so I'm going to put notes here. This is a 8th note, starting on the end of beat 2. It's a pickup measure, alright? Goes right here. Oh, one thing to mention. If you know how to read piano music, C4 is usually middle C. On FL Studio, this is not middle C. C5 is middle C. So, this F is the F that is above this C. So it's this F. Alright? Here we go. F. I'm just going to write them all in a line here, okay? I'm going to go line by line, starting here. F, D, B flat, A, C, B flat, F, alright? Alright, so one thing you gotta know about this piano roll thing is that it is a representation of time going forward. Like, if you want the notes to go one by one, you gotta put them from left to right, okay? Same thing as how you're reading this, left to right, one, left to right. Alright? If I did it like this, this is not gonna sound right, okay? It's just gonna sound like a cluster of notes. That's not it. So I'm gonna do it like this. Alright. Okay. There we go. This symbol, by the way, is a rest. It's a rest, okay? We're not gonna put notes on that area. We're gonna skip that. We're on this measure now. G. Alright, also another thing to mention is we're in 2/4, right? So that means each of these measures gets one quarter note, sorry, 2 quarter notes. This is a quarter note, this is another quarter note. You get eighth notes like this by splitting one of these or shrinking it in half, okay? This is a quarter note, this is an eighth note. That's what we need. Continuing, this is F, G, G, A, B flat. It's B flat because of the time or key signature right here, right? This is B flats and E flats. So we're not gonna do because that would be incorrect. That's not the notes. Key signature tells us B flats. You can see it says A sharp, but that's the same thing as B flat. And there's no way to change that, I think, in FL Studio. Alright? Anyway, continuing. We are here. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here we go. We're right here, and we gotta get smaller notes because these are 16th notes, okay? Remember, to get smaller notes, you just shrink it. So, here, shrink it in half. You shrink it in half by going to the right side of it until it turns into a little horizontal arrow. And you click and drag while it is the horizontal arrow shape, okay? If you try to do it like this shape of the cursor, it's not going to be good. You're just going to end up moving the notes. You can also enable a thing that lets you adjust it from the left side. And that's off by default. But I turned it on because it's useful, okay? Anyway. This is from here to here. I'm gonna press play. Alright. Also, I gotta make sure some of these note values are correct, but I will do it when I get to it on the bass clef side. So now, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of this thing and do this section, the bass clef. Alright, so this is B flat, alright? And it starts on beat 1 of the measure after the pickup measure. This is the pickup measure. It's an incomplete measure on the sheet music. We're gonna put the B flat right here. B flat. It's the B flat right below middle C, and remember, middle C on FL Studio is C5, not C4, alright? So here we go. Stretching it like this long because these are quarter notes. we're putting E flats because there's E flats in the key signature also. So E flat is the same as D sharp. Here we go. Alright, right here, you see this is a chord, sort of. It's two notes happening at once. It's B flat and D, so I have B flat and D. And also I'm putting on the same window that I did the right hand on, right? This might be inconvenient later, but just to keep it simple for now, we're doing on the same one. Alright. Alright. So I'm looking through here because I have some notes that are too short compared to the sheet music. I have like, I'm pretty sure I have some, yeah, right here. This should be quarter notes. Right here I put eighth notes, so I'm just gonna control, click, drag, select these notes, stretch them out twice as long as they are right now. So they are quarter notes now, and then there's the eighth rest right here. Continuing, same thing happened here. I have eighth notes when they should be quarter notes. Alright, continuing. Where are we? Same thing happens here. These should be quarter notes, but they're eighth notes right now, so I'm gonna click, control, click, drag, move up to the right side of it where it turns into a horizontal arrow, click, drag, twice as long. So now they are quarter notes. Alright, but also, in the sheet music there is this grace note here, this thingy here. I have ignored it. I can add it by going, find it right here somewhere. Let's see. Alright, the grace note should be right here. It's going G, F sharp, G, F natural, but it should have a little grace note right here. Gonna shrink this in half. Or, yeah, let's see how that sounds. That sounds ridiculous. Pretty sure that grace notes are like twice as short as they actually look. So this looks like it says a 16th note, but it should be a 32nd note. Pretty sure. Let's see. So to get it shorter than this, I gotta, oh my god, why is this thing scrolling right here? I can either like alt and click and drag to like an undefined section that is smaller than the grid, or I can make the grid even tinier by clicking this magnet here, going to 1/4 step, going like this. Alright, let's see how that sounds. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. So then I'm going to zoom back out. Why is this thing scrolling mid? Alright. You know what this symbol means, right? It means repeat. Back to the beginning. So that could just mean grab all this, copy it, and paste it. Right? And that's our repeat. Okay, so that is from here to here, and then back again, back to here. And then I haven't done this part yet, so I'm going to continue. Or I can show you a different way to copy that. Going to this window here, the playlist. This is where you put your patterns so that they actually play in an order, you know. So I have this pattern. Pattern 2 is the one that goes like this. I want that to happen again, so I'm going to put it right here. But I think there's a problem that happens with FL Studio where if you have the same pattern overlapping itself, it just like gets silent on the part where it's overlapping. So you can turn this into a, I mean, let's listen to how it happens. Yeah, so I gotta make this into a separate pattern. This is the same thing though. I'm gonna do this. Click on the top left corner. Ugh. Make unique. So now it's the same notes, but it's on a different pattern. So if I do this, if I press play again, it actually works, okay? Yeah, that's a thing that you should be aware of. Anyway, next I'm gonna turn this number up to 4 and add another pattern, empty, blank. Gonna put it right here. Double click it, so now I have this next area to put these notes into. Alright. Remember, this is the end of the previous measure. This is like a pickup, so I'm gonna put it on the end of beat 2 of the first measure. Alright, so this is F again. This F. And I'm just gonna write from here to here because I'm pretty sure the next part, the next section is just the same thing as before in the beginning, but it ends a little differently. So I'm just gonna do it from here to here, okay? F, F, D, D, B natural. And it's a quarter note length. And then there's a eighth note rest, G. C, G, D, G, E flat, quarter note length, eighth note rest, E flat again, C, C, A, quarter note length, that goes to F, D flat, F, C, F, D, quarter note, eighth rest. Alright, so that is from here to here, and I gotta add the left hand also. So I'm gonna go back to this part. It's resting on the left hand until we get to the B natural. So this is G, F, alright. It is the G below middle C. This is middle C, this is G below middle C, alright. G, F, E flat, B natural, C. Let's see if that sounds right. Actually, no, continuing. There's another rest here. For, let's see. Starts under the A. F. Alright, so now we got both ends right here. Can you hear that? Alright. I'm gonna do a new pattern now because this is like another section of the song. So I turn this up to 5, so it's a blank pattern. Double clicking it to open the piano roll. Zooming into here. This is the second half of the, it's a pickup measure basically again. So starting on the and of beat 2 of measure 1, this is F above the C above middle C. So this is F right here. I'm gonna ignore the grace note for now. I'm just gonna put C, B flat, C, D. Ooh, come on. And then 16th notes. Alright, that is the right hand, starting from here to the end. I'm gonna do the left hand bass clef, starting from right here. This is B flat under middle C. Bruh. We got E flats, C, B flat and D, dog barking, D, E flat, C, B flat and D, D. Alright, that should be the whole song, except I need to go back to find the thing where I skipped the grace note. Right here. So I'm gonna zoom in on it. And turn this into like a tiny little grace note right here. Alright. So now I've got this pattern, this pattern, this pattern, this pattern. They're all in order. That is, the first pattern is from here to here. Second pattern is again from here to here. Third pattern is from here to here. Fourth pattern is from here to the end. And if we listen to it, it should be this piece. Play it all at the same velocity. And it should be correct. Alright, so that's how you copy sheet music from here to FL Studio, man. It's not very in-depth, but you should already know how to read sheet music, right? You should already know how to click this thing open, right? You should know how to enter notes into it and shrink them and expand them and know how to read the notes on the side here, right? Low notes are at the bottom, high notes are at the top. Yeah. This song is, or this piece is called Allegro. That means fast. This is relatively fast. I'm just gonna leave it at that tempo, but if you wanted to slow it down or speed it up for some reason, it's right here. Higher number means faster, lower number means slower, okay? So I'm gonna put it right here, see how slow it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to that. Alright. If you wanted it to actually have expression, then if you bring this up and click towards the bottom of the screen, the little piano roll, click and drag up, there's this thing that shows velocity. Right now I have every single thing on the same velocity. You can turn the velocity of each individual note down by itself, you know, by lowering it or raising it. But I'm not going to do all that. You can hear how it sounds if I do this, right? Hold on. Lower's quieter, right? Holy crap. Nobody would actually play it like that, though, okay? You gotta... It's so much in-depth stuff to do. I don't want to do all of it, man.